some provisions in there that that neither of those parties like, including ISDS, labour market testing. This is now an opportunity. We've passed the opportunity to Labor to make sure they don't cry wolf on this, where they come out and speak against some of the provisions. I want to be very.
But you know how this works as well. You can't just make amendments to it. It's a multi-country agreement.
Well, it's interesting. Labor have said that they will make an amendment when they get to government. So they're suggesting we enter into the agreement and then an amendment gets made post facto. I actually think that's the wrong thing to do. I think we're in a position where we can vote this down in the Parliament. We can draw a line in the sand, and that allows DFAT officials to go back to the international officials and say to them that our Parliament rejects these provisions.
But that is realistically blowing up the deal. You'd have to concede that, given how treacherous the negotiations have been and the fact that all these parliaments need to ratify this. We put in this change, someone else says, well, if that changes, we'll do this. It's gone there.
The deal is a means to an end, okay? And if the end is wrong, then you don't do the deal. And we have very, very strong views about ISDS and labour market testing. We need to cut the cancer out of this, and we need to make sure that DFAT officials and ministers understand moving forward with any trade deal that they steer into danger if they include those provisions.
Right, and you're perfectly entitled to take that stance, but you'd have to also say the political reality is the TPP's dead or Australia's out of it, if that's the case.
Well, the reality is that deal, it's questionable whether or not it will provide benefit to Australia. So on the economic analysis, which wasn't done by government but has been done by places like Johns Hopkins University, there's a 0.5% gain to GDP over 10 or so years, and the Productivity Commission has suggested that we often exaggerate what the benefits of these things will be. So it's not even clear that there's a benefit, but we know there is a downside.
Rex Patrick from the Centre Alliance, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Tom.